it all, taking as much as you can take. Can't resistance, gonna watch them fall. Fight back, need a kick in the ass. Wait a second too long, now you're missing the chance. You leave it all behind again. Raise your fist up high, let the meeting begin. Fight. Dying to live, you need to breathe. Blinding your eyes so you can see. Kill what holds you, gonna watch them fall. Need a kick in the ass, wait a second too long, now you're missing the chance. You leave it all behind again. Raise your fist up high, let the meeting begin. Fight back, need a kick in the ass, wait a second too long, now you're missing the chance. You leave it all behind again. Raise your fist up high, let the meeting begin. Oh, we're taking a stand. It's coming back now, don't you worry. Don't misunderstand. The eye of the storm, we won't be bit.
Buster, can you please
Yeah.
play that phone?
Yeah, we young, yeah, we smoke. Who need lungs when we talk? Roll the blunt till we.
Be divided, cut close to the edge. We won't let our fate be decided.
Yeah, yeah, we young, yeah, we smoke. Who need lungs when we talk? Roll a blunt till we choke. You got money, cause I'm low. Yeah, we dumb and we broke. 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 Little young boss on a beat.
AJ Morgan?
Who is he? Boom bap, what is that? Hear me
Fine.
spit, hear my
Fine.
rap.
First
Spit it
fine day
slow,
in a while.
spit it fast. Mess it up when I rap.
Well, you had the opportunity to love me to cheat your way into a win one more time, but you didn't. You actually proved respect to me. So, I have no quarrel with you anymore. In fact, I kind of enjoy the idea of you taking out all these other yarders. So, oh, absolutely, they don't deserve to be jumping around the same ring that we are. We still haven't been invited to sports bar, by the way, Tom. Well, take you back about 8 years ago. Long, this is going to be a long story, if you believe it or not. It's been back 8 years ago. Little boy in high school, middle school days. Got bullied a lot for being different, for liking different things. Didn't really know how to defend himself. Then he found wrestling. He was trained up, was able to kick anybody's ass that he wanted to, and everybody stopped picking on him, started fearing him. The select few that didn't got put in their place. Felt good. It felt even better whenever I got to break something of theirs that was on their body or tear something from them, being their dignity or, you know, well, I wasn't that big back then. I was 130, 140 pounds 8 years ago. A little bit taller, but the same build. Well, think about the collegiate, or as most people call it, amateur wrestling background, is it has to do a lot with taking advantage of limbs. When you lock up, you're usually targeting the head and going for the arm control and neck control. I was always big on waiting for the other guy to shoot in on me or to try and take advantage of me just to put them down. Give them a low, you know, give them high confidence, low security. That way I snap on in and I really destroy them. And that's what I kind of bring into the professional wrestling field today. Absolutely. Who? because they don't deserve to be in the same ring as me. They don't deserve to be on the same in the same match as me. I mean, 5 second match, 10 minutes of post beatdown afterwards. You know, I've thought about that before. I've never had respect for ADT, not after our squabble that we had when you and I were rivaling, when the Black Flag Army was still a three-man trio. Right, before I allegedly killed him behind the scenes. But a match between ADT and me, the Kingpin versus the Bishop. Yes, the self-proclaimed Kingpin. That's a match I've thought of many times, and I've seen many outcomes. None of which I see him getting his hand raised, though. Well, let's be honest, anything that we know, CT Matlock knows. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, you saw my match with him after Gold Rush when we faced off. I only let him stay in that match as long as I wanted him to be. Then he was squished down hard. That is correct. Well, for it to be one of my first TV product places I've ever worked at, it was a very good experience. A lot of the workers there were, a lot of the wrestlers there were also, too kind for my liking, but very welcoming. I think I hit it off pretty good with Evil. We were on the same page. With negatively taking on the New South Heavyweight Champion tomorrow night at Gaston Mall. It was an enjoyable experience. However, me and my tag partner did come up short. And hopefully, tomorrow night, we can, or at least I can, reestablish ourselves as a formidable force in any wrestling company on the planet. Man, don't bring up Jack Delta. I've say Jack Delta. How long has he been doing this? This little underground, little indies business. Well, would you say roughly maybe 2, 3 years? Okay. I haven't been in this business for even a year yet. And I've wrestled in places such as Rocket City Championship Wrestling, Spartan Pro Wrestling, formerly worked for High Voltage Pro Wrestling, Fearless Championship Wrestling. I've wrestled for All Star Wrestling Alliance. I'm wrestling for Alliance Wrestling League. I'm about to start performing in Georgia for a company called HCW, Heartthrob Championship Wrestling. Exactly. So all those places in the span of not even a year yet.
Dream. Is that better? Mr. Tilly in the chat is that better?
Oh, Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly is in the chat.
Tilly, I want to know, what was your thought process of me going against D'Angelo, knowing he was a champion, and not signing that it was a championship match? What the hell? It wasn't even worth my time.
Absolutely nothing being done.
Your thought process of me going against D'Angelo, knowing he was a champion.
Well, looks like it can be heard, but Tilly, Victor Thorn asked you a very important question. Why would you put him with D'Angelo?
I mean, hopefully, whenever I get another champion to face, maybe you'll consider booking it for the championship this time.
Big money match on paper. There it is. It's always about the money with these wrestlers, I swear. They only. I think I muted my mic. They only want to do wrestling for the money, and that is not something we are in the wrestling business for. What we are in the wrestling business for is to bring respect back to
See,
the
I don't
sport.
care about the money. You can pay me how little or how much you want, as long as I get paid and breaking someone's bones and little kids' hearts.
Exactly, and let's talk about that because there's a lot of reasons to get into wrestling. Some people want the fame, some people want the money, some people just want to watch the world burn. What would you say you were in wrestling for? Mr. Thorn? Hello? A lot of technical difficulties on the podcast today. I don't know if we have Victor Thorn anymore. Hello, Victor?
Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't do anything live because there are so many difficulties going on. Victor Thorman, am I back? Hello?
Still waiting on Morgan.
Ah, so he can't hear me. Are you able to hear me now, Victor? Well, this is going horribly. And I think Victor's gone. Let's just go back to the intro for a couple of minutes while we sort out some technical difficulties.
Brilliant. Yeah, gotcha. I got you. Yeah.
I am so sorry for that interruption. We got Victor Thorn back. Victor, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Perfect. Mr. Tilly is still in the chat. He said something, but it's gone now. So we're just gonna move on. You mentioned High Voltage Pro and Fearless Championship Wrestling, right?
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about that. Your time there. I understand that you faced a tag team who also worked for New South called the Nest. What was your look when fighting the Nest?
The Nest. Well, whenever I did work for the Nest, or with the Nest, not for, because screw those guys for one. But whenever I did work against the Nest or work against the Nest, it was a hard uphill battle. We didn't come out on top. Hell, I haven't come out on top on them at all. They're just taller, bigger, faster, but they're just as dumb as a bag of bricks.
What if I told you that they were listening to this podcast right now? What would you say to them?
So the Nest, Thibodeau, and Brax. Doesn't matter where or when. New South, doesn't matter Spartan, doesn't matter Rocket City again. Next time we have your number. Zod and I, Armageddon, we have your number next time. We know how you work now. We know how you tick.
We have another comment from Mr. Hillbilly Tilly. Victor Thorn made a statement dominating La Flame, one of the biggest names in the underground. Do you think D'Angelo Flame is the biggest name in the underground wrestling scene?
See, that's tricky because, really, I don't give a crap about the underground wrestling scene or the backyard wrestling scene. I'm a professional. I worry about other professionals. D'Angelo Flame was a tough opponent, but he came out short.
That's one way of looking at it. I always look for the underground scene because the underground scene is what feeds into the indie scene, and a lot of those guys that come in are just god awful. And someone like D'Angelo Flame, I have a little bit of respect for. He has done well in making a name for himself. He's done well in, well, if anything, he has energy.
Well, yeah, there's the energy of professional wrestling. But I shut that shit down, didn't I?
The energy of professional wrestling, but he couldn't last in a match with Victor Thorn. So that might be all he has is energy. He may be able to scream his theme song at the top of his lungs.
We don't even need to talk about D'Angelo. If we're talking about underground wrestling and former champs and shit, let's talk about Jacob Collins, the gunslinger from ROEW.
Go ahead, talk about Jacob Collins.
Tilly, what the hell were you thinking? You knew you were going to get that kid killed. if it wasn't for AJ Morgan, which, I'm still going to hold it against you, I would have dismembered him for James Storm.
James Thorn? Like the cowboy?
James Storm.
You mean Jason
Who am I
Storm?
thinking of? Jason Storm.
There you go.
See, I don't even watch the product that much. I don't even understand the names. I don't
Look,
even watch the product that much.
If ROEW was able to get Cowboy James Storm, I would actually watch, but I don't see that one happening. Move on. Since AWL and ROEW have a working relationship, who would you like to wrestle on the ROEW roster? I think we lost Victor again. Oh, this is going well. Tilly, I do agree. Watching Vic versus Collins was kind of entertaining looking back on it. Oh. Well, we're still waiting on Viktor Thorn. Let's go ahead and plug SportsWire once again. Thank you, Tom Bryce. Thank you, SportsWire, for making all this happen. I'm sorry that there are so many technical difficulties going on in the background. Ooh, I think Viktor Thorn is back. Maybe. Mr. Thorn, are you there? All right. Well, let's just talk about the podcast while we're waiting on Victor. I will be trying to do this every week with whatever guest I can pull on. It looks like next week, around the same time, I will have on the absolute Travis Hunt. We're going to talk about Gold Rush. We're going to talk about what happened at Endgame, his goals for the future, and what changed between us to where I kind of respect him now versus people like Tyson Gates and Seth Maverick and all them. Thank you to Tom Bryce of SportsWire Radio. I see he commented, it happens, just keep pushing, and I heard some good things on the show so far. Victor, keep up the good work, and I hope to hear more. Tom, you should definitely have Viktor Thorn on your show. He is doing great. As long as his internet connection isn't going to keep like this. We'll put the intro back on while we wait on Mr. Thorn.
Straight to the face, the bones break. Taking it all, taking as much as you can take. Can't resistance, gotta watch them fall. Fight back, need a kick in the ass. Wait a second too long, now you're missing the chance. You leave it all behind again. Raise your fist up high, let
Can you hear me now? What are we doing?
Dying to live, you need to breathe.
It looks like we have Mr. Thorn back.
How many
Victor,
interruptions are going to be on this show?
I don't know. Live radio, live broadcast, anything can happen. Where did we leave off?
I think we left off at after Jacob Collins. You were asking me about something, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, who on the ROEW roster would you like to face since AWL and ROEW have a working agreement?
Is there anyone worthy of facing me? Is there anyone I need to face to prove myself on ROEW? I don't think so.
No, but there are some interesting talent there. Jack Delta has a name behind him, whether he can wrestle or not. JX has a bit of a name behind him. CJ Black, Jason Storm. Is there anybody that piques your interest?
See, I don't know. CJ Black, maybe. Maybe CJ Black. Jason Storm, no. Well, maybe. Maybe Jason Storm. JX is another maybe. Jacob Collins, we don't want to go through that again. Because we know what's going to happen.
Tilly suggested Big Man Cam.
Big Man Cam. Isn't that another yarder?
He is part of, at least last I checked, the BYW faction with CJ Black and Jason Storm. So yes.
See, why would I want to? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to go against yarders when I know I'm going to win and basically I'm going to get nothing out of it?
So would
Sure,
that mean you don't want to face?
I get a little bit of serotonin from beating the absolute shit out of them.
So would you want to face a Tyson Gates, a Hacksaw Brown, a Seth Maverick?
No.
Interesting. Because
I don't want to. I don't need to. But it'll feel good to break every single one of their bones and have them all gasping for air.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what they deserve. You are the Bishop of Brutality. You can go in there and murder them. I think it'd be interesting to see those matches because I love watching funerals. As you can tell by my promo, I absolutely love funerals. At least the people who deserve to die.
So, you know what? I owe Seth Maverick back one. Because if we remember from New Year's Evolution, Seth Maverick pinned me in the gauntlet match for the new division title. And then, over in April at Spartan Pro Wrestling, you and Seth Maverick were able to beat me in a tag team match. So I'm 0-2 against Seth Maverick. And you know what? That just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So, Hillbilly Tilly, if you're still in the chat, book it. Seth Maverick versus Viktor Thorn at AWL.
I do find it funny because Seth does have one victory over you in a gauntlet match. But he did not pin you at Spartan Pro Wrestling. I did. So, do you think Seth really has two victories over you, or do I have that victory over you? And I just carried him to the success.
Yeah, you see, without you, he's just going to fumble and fall. And that's what he deserves.
We see that.
Because without you, you were in his corner. But without you in the ring, he lost to O'Malley,
Exactly.
Joshua Hagen's lackey.
Exactly, I was about to say that. I got injured, and the first time he wrestles on his own at Spartan Pro Wrestling, he loses a match against O'Malley.
Right, in his first singles match to O'Malley. And nothing against O'Malley. Nothing against any of the Irish Brotherhood. But O'Malley?
Yeah, out of anybody you're going to lose to, Josh is easily number one. Brandon Cash, Dylan Cook, then maybe O'Malley.
Dylan Cook is below O'Malley. Let's give him that. Cook is just down there. I don't even see why they associate with him anymore, ever since he started losing titles for them, losing opportunities for them. But O'Malley? See, this is why I'm going against Seth Maverick, because I can't watch him try to do this anymore. I got to put him down and out of his misery.
So you're going to Old Yeller Seth Maverick.
If that's what you want to call it.
Tilly, we need to see that because I would love for Viktor Thorn to get one of the 5 I'm targeting. I want to see it.
Oh, I'll take him out for you.
Good, because I really don't have to wrestle him again. He is, by and away, awful. But to move on a little bit, what has been your experience with Spartan Pro Wrestling and what has been your experience tagging with Zod and Armageddon?
Say, it's been up and down experience wise. Zod and I have not had any disagreements as a tag team. We've had some rough patches that we've let out. You know, both of us, we had to try and get along with each other at the beginning. We were just two guys that were trained by the same man, the same as you, and we just found common interests.
Yeah.
So he liked to talk the shit and walk all over, and I just liked to tear everyone apart that I saw. We both of us debuted in the 2023 Spartan Pro Wrestling Spartan Chamber.
Yes,
Along
Spartan's
with you.
Chamber. Yes, I was also there. I think I was the entrant right after you.
Right.
Started off our bad blood there, but I'm glad we've moved on from that because you were a very good ally to have, as opposed to my yarder brother and my former yarder friend, or sorry, yarding former friend.
And you see, think about having, you know, me, maybe even Zod as an ally, if I can get him on the same page as you and I being allies, is that no one will be able to stand against us anywhere.
No, yeah, that would be amazing to see, but I just don't see Zod in AWL because what does Zod have to do in AWL? There's no tag division. There's, I mean, nothing for him to do besides help us kill yarders, and I think he can find some better use of his time because we are doing very well with killing these yarders.
Yeah, I know Zod would love you on the action though.
Oh, I'm sure. And Zod is a very, very interesting man if you haven't seen Spartan Pro Wrestling. Zod is Viktor Thorn's tag partner in Armageddon. He almost looks like if Ozzy Osbourne mixed with like Eddie Hall in a professional wrestling ring. I love to see it. Um, I absolutely enjoy working with Spartan Pro Wrestling, as I'm sure Viktor Thorn does. And what would you have to talk about your experience? What's some of the best things that's happened to you with Spartan Pro Wrestling?
Well, my experience in Spartan Pro Wrestling has been nothing but complicated. You see, General Manager Joe Crow was had become general manager right before I debuted, right before I signed. And I'll say, when Joshua Hagan was general manager, things were better.
Can't agree.
They were great. With Joe Crow, everything's been messing up. From production to just the matches just not coming on correctly. Just people not showing up.
There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of people not showing up. That's been a problem everywhere we've gone because we've worked at High Voltage, we've worked uh, AWL, Spartan, I've worked at REW, you've worked at Rocket City and New South. It's a common thread that people just don't respect this business enough to show up.
See, I miss the professionalism and professional wrestling.
Yeah, at this point, we might as well be amateur wrestling because it's amateur hour trying to deal with some of these guys who don't respect professional wrestling. I can agree. I had to wait hours to fight Jack Delta. I sat around in Michigan, in Detroit no less, just waiting for my opponent to show up that day. You know how long of a flight Detroit is from Alabama?
Oh, I can guess.
It's too
I
long.
can guess.
It's too long.
Too long.
Too long. And I had to wait hours on him. But I won't get into that's a story for a different day and a different environment. What we need to be talking about is you. Now, what are your goals for Spartan Pro Wrestling, AWL, New South, Rocket City, wherever you're going to be? What are your goals there?
Same as they always been. Destroy rebuild. Take out all the competition, take out all the gold, break every single one of the wannabe champs or wannabe heroes of professional wrestling, or anyone that stands in my way for that matter, and rebuild every company in my image, in a brutal, vicious image.
So, I correct me if I'm wrong. Are Wasteland not currently the number one contenders for the Spartan Pro Wrestling tag titles?
If are Wasteland have proclaimed themselves to be number one contenders for a while now, right?
Uh, very much, and I haven't seen them in a while.
Right. So if they're number one contenders, then why did Zod and I have a tag team title match twice before them, back to back?
It's a very good question.
See, Wasteland like to speak a lot and not do a lot. As you can see, they don't even show up sometimes. Or they're out just squashing younger talent that haven't even been able to, perform a suplex.
Are we talking about the Vipers?
We're talking about Vipers. We're talking about people that have been in the academy maybe 2-3 months. That have been there 2-3 months, but in reality, have had like 3 days of training.
There's been quite a bit of those on this show. I've seen it. I unfortunately have not been at the last Spartan show, but I did get to watch it. There were some guys on there that died within a couple of minutes. And it was
I don't blame them. They didn't know what they were doing against Wasteland. Sure, Zod and I faced Wasteland, our first match as a tag team. We did not come out on top. We were ill prepared. But I bet you if Wasteland and Armageddon face again, it'd be a totally different story.
Well, since we're on that, how about somebody else that I can see you in a match with? What are your thoughts on Zeus Thundar?
Oh, Zeus Thundar, please. Zeus and I have never been on the same page. Just attention-seeking, mama's boy. Always having the fans behind his back because he's got his Thunderbolt doing his little Hulk Hogan rip-off pose. Usually coming out to a pop song. Thank God he changed that. But this new one, he sucks even more. And now he's middleweight champion of Spartan Pro Wrestling. High voltage heavyweight champion. I mean, come on. How do the fans not think that this is overrated shit?
I gotta ask a question. I wanted to be in that middleweight tournament because if anybody's gonna beat all the middleweights at Spartan Pro Wrestling, it is of course the unwanted AJ Morgan. But I was told I weighed too much to be in the middleweight tournament. I weighed 230, and I was supposed to be 220. Zeus has to weigh more than me.
Zeus is way taller than both of us, right?
Yeah, I am 5'10". I believe you were the same. He is 6 foot, and he has to be 240 pounds.
Because right now, I'm weighing myself in, and I'm not ashamed to say this, I'm weighing myself in right now at 255.
Ooh, Jesus, that is a lot.
It is a lot of weight, and I still move quick like I'm in the middleweight division or cruiserweight division. So Zeus Thundar, I would have to have Joe Crow put him on a scale to see if he can even hold that championship.
I agree. Should Zeus Thundar be the middleweight champion? Because I was not entered to the match entirely for weighing too much, and he looks like he weighs more than me.
Zeus Thundar defended the middleweight championship against a guy bigger than him.
Since we're on the topic of asking about people, there's someone interesting and diverse in what we're doing, and I wanted to know what your thoughts on him. He should be on the show next week. What do you think about the absolute Travis Hunt?
The absolute Travis Hunt, former heavyweight champion, current hardcore champion, the man that you helped beat your brother.
Very much.
Travis Hunt and I have not had any bad blood against us. Him and I first faced off in the New Division Gauntlet match at New Year Revolution. And safe to say that he is one of the better underground wrestlers to come up. I have no quarrel with him. I have no reason to go after him or say anything bad about him.
I can agree.
I know for a fact that if I step in the ring with Travis Hunt, it will not be pretty.
Well, yeah, of course. That's just saying
Well,
facts.
here's the thing for either of us, because I know he can take me to my limit, and I know I can take him to his. He is strong for his size, and he has proven that before. It's not easy to lift my big ass.
He is built like a cruiserweight, but looks like a heavyweight, and that's what makes Travis Hunt very unique in the alliance. I think Travis Hunt should be your new division champion.
The new division champion.
Of course.
Let's talk about our current new division champion. We
Oh
know
no.
him. CT Matlock, right?
Of course. Former Cobalt.
Former Cobalt. A man that I've beaten on several occasions throughout multiple companies. And yet, Tilly, instead of a champion shot for the Bishop, you give it to the podcast crybaby.
For those of you who are unaware, CT Matlock gave an emotional speech on Sportswire Radio.
Oh yeah, really, really tear jerking. Really made me hit me in the feelings. You fucking poser.
Look, I don't know about you. I have a hard time being mean to him. I have a hard time hating him or disliking him. He's just too damn nice. So I just put
And
him
that's the
aside.
reason I beat him. Is because he is too damn nice. I want to
Very
see
much.
what Cobalt's furious side is. We haven't seen that yet. Hell, we might see that against Joshua Hagen. Maybe he might have enough of Joshua Hagen and start firing back at him.
I don't know. Joshua Hagen's a very difficult wrestler to go against. I don't know if CT Matlock is ready to go against him
And
again.
I agree, O'Hagan is a very difficult task to beat. But if CT Matlock pokes into that same mindset as I do and sees the same way I do, CT Matlock, how about you reach out to me just so you know how I think, so I can help you out against Joshua Hagen? How about that? I'll
You
give you
were
free advice.
you were going to help CT Matlock defeat Joshua Hagen.
Oh yeah, free advice for that.
That
And I
is
and
something
I
I
want
understand.
him after the match to thank me.
Well,
Thank the bishop for helping him go over such a huge obstacle. Let the new division champion of AWL thank the bishop, the person who should have won a championship a few weeks ago at In Game.
instead you're fighting the Resurrection Pro Television Champion without the title on the line. Again, another thing to bring up towards Tilly.
See, I can't go anywhere with good management these days. Joe Crow, Hillbilly Tilly, who the guy's name was at High Voltage.
Who is in charge of High Voltage? I just remember some random guy gave me some money and said, "Here's your match."
I don't remember his name.
O'Hagan would be a great guest on the podcast in the future, but that's a story for a different time. I don't know if O'Hagan's actually in the mood for speaking to people at the moment. He's kind of in a blind rage against CT Matlock and that Viper they faced last time. But closing thoughts, because we want to go ahead and wrap this up. Viktor, Thorn, what are we going to see in the future for you?
What are you going to see in the future for Victor Thorn? Well, Victor Thorn is going to do what he's always been doing. Nothing's going to change. I'm always going to go out there, not care win or lose, really, not care who it is, champion or not. I'm just out there to hurt people. I'm just out there to make wrestling the way I am, brutal and without. I am going to make wrestling relentless, brutal, violent.
I can't wait to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, go follow Viktor Thorn on Facebook, Instagram. Do you have any other social medias like a TikTok?
No.
Okay. So go follow Victor Thorn on Facebook and Instagram at official Victor Thorn on Instagram and just Victor Thorn on Facebook. Make sure to follow AJ Morgan and No Budget Podcast everywhere you can follow anything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Victor Thorn for coming on. And next week, stay tuned for the absolute Travis Hunt on the No Budget Podcast.
Looking so fresh, I mean, this boy's so cute. No pun intended. Let me catch you by surprise, cause I know you good. Yeah. Cause of the word we vital. Check my blood type, it's like Amethyst type O. So best believe me, crap back in the building, cause about to blow the roof off. Like dreams, when things like daydreams, wet dreams, same forget. Bring that reality to fine print with it. To capture this moment, cause forever I will own it. Look at me now all day, I'm smiling. Best day scheme, damn surprising.